something, it's like a visual, it's like a vision. This is the darkest place I've
Hey ladies and gentlemen, you're with me, Drew, today, and as you can see me, I'm dressed up, and Jamie's right by the side of me. Now in the backstage, we have a legend. In the backstage, we got a legend person in the backstage. I'm so excited. You guys need to shout out before I bring her on the show. She is pumping, she is fuming. Not fuming, but she's like looking forward to coming on here. But listen very carefully, guys. And this is what I'm going to say. The powder is blowing. The trees are winding. Everyone is listening to the rumors of the witchcraft. Now listen to the moonlight shining above the broom. Listen to all the stories you got to hear. Now for the night, it is truly year. The stars are glittering. The laugh is giggling. But now, the one and true and only Patty. Is it Patty or Pat? She might tell me off for this one. But who knows? She might put a spell now. She's positive. Ladies and gentlemen, she is here tonight. One and only. Been seen on TV. Even on MasterChef. She is a hilarious woman. And she's down to earth, guys. You can't wait to hear about it. Including her book. I'm looking forward to hearing about her book. It is the one and only Patty. Hey!
Hi guys. Hi Drew. Hi Jamie. Yes, it's patti.negri. Don't call me Pat.
Hello. Okay. Sorry, I told you I'll get this wrong.
It's okay.
I told you.
It's okay. You actually call me anything you want. I'll answer to most everything. I've been called worse. So Thanks for having me on.
It's my pleasure, and it's Jamie's pleasure by the look of it. He's gone quiet at the moment.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Give everyone the details. Who you are, even you're known out there already.
Okay.
Give everyone details. Who you are.
My name is patti.negri. I am a psychic medium since birth. I was talking to dead people since I was 3 or 4. I've been doing seances since I was 7 or 8. I'm also a witch, also born into me. I just knew what to do with herbs and oils and chants when I was a little kid. I am based in Hollywood, so I do a lot of television. I'm regular appearances on Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel, or the Really Channel in the UK. I know that. And a lot of other TV shows, just because I'm sitting in the midst of it. My house is literally in the shadow of the Hollywood sign in the Hollywood Hills. And that's good. I write, I teach, I talk. I love people. I love life. And in my work, whatever I do, whether I'm on a TV show, a good TV show, a goofy TV show, I do them all. It's reminding people how cool we are. You know, whether it's because we're talking to ghosts, it's how cool we are.
That is so true. That is so true. We are very cool in this field. Jamie, I'm going to get you going first because you're new to all this, buddy, and this lovely woman. I know you're desperate to ask your questions. Please, go ahead, Jamie, please.
So what was the first thing that actually got you going with? So as we all know, you appeared on Ghost Adventures. What actually got you going with them? How did you actually get in with it?
That was really, because it was the weirdest fluke for Ghost Adventures, really. Again, I am in Hollywood. I am known in Hollywood and done lots of television and lots of stuff. But the first time they called me in, I think I've done 10 episodes now, which is pretty good, more than I think anybody else as far as being the extra person. But it was their Haunted Hollywood episode. And they had heard that I had seen or talked to the ghost of Charlie Chaplin at an investigation I had done. I had done a big fundraiser ghost tour for the for an art organization I work with, and that they had heard that. So they just my first time in, I was literally like, where every episode they have one person come in and tell their experiences. Sometimes they'll have a psychic medium or just the local person. So that was the first time. And I think, when I hit it off with them so well, and I just loved how they work. Once you see the commitment that they do and the 120% that they give to it, the legitimacy of it, I mean, they will keep me locked in a trunk of a car if they had to not know what's going on. So it's real, it's in the moment. But so then they just started calling me. Either they found out how my ability with seances since I was a kid, if they wanted a seance to connect there, or just for some confirmation to come in. Okay, Patty, again, knowing nothing. Patty, come into this Chatsworth house, Reseda house, whatever house, and just you tell us what happened. And I don't know anything. I'm usually going, oh gosh, what if I get nothing? What if my psychic doesn't work? But it always does, because the places they go are so charged, and it's not like, walking down the street. So it's that's how I did it, and then just kind of came to the person to call. So, and again, if it is a place I know, like I've recommended a couple places because they know I do clearings all the time, and it's like, ooh, this place, like the Reseda house itself, it's like I can't clear it. There's all this stuff going on. You guys might want to check it out. And then they, vet it out and check it out. But on those episodes, or like the Pasadena Ritual House with my friend Richard Lael, I had called them. I go, you're going to love this house. But it's to keep it all real and legit. On those episodes, they don't have me do a walkthrough and tell them what's happening, because I already know. I'll do the intro in the beginning, and I'll talk about my experiences maybe. So again, that just gives them so much credibility to me, just like, wow.
Yeah.
How did you get into witchcraft? How did you have that experience, and what does it feel like for you to actually experience that sort of awesome talent?
Oh, well, again, I think it's in the blood. And again, I think it's in all of our blood. It just gets taught out of us, and it's instinct in our modern society of things. But I really could talk to trees and see spirits and ghosts, and knew if I would pick some rosemary plant in my backyard and put it in my mom's wallet, she would have more money. I just kind of in the blood. So, but I was raised without any kind of religion or spirituality. My grandfather was this big, famous, very atheist psychoanalysis, big Hollywood, hung out here. I even have my grandpa with me. Ooh, very Freudian. And he thought that anything religious, spiritual, otherworldly, supernatural was a weakness. He was all science all the time. He literally hung out with Isaac Asimov and Carl Sagan, and Steve Allen was his best friend, all these thinkers, Norman Lear. So I was raised, I had never been in a church or a temple or a synagogue or a witchy whatever, but I would see the light and energy. I'd want to go in that church or that mosque or that temple. And I think I was 13 until I was brave enough to ask my mom. I go, Mom, I wanted to go to a church, I think, because I think some cute Christian rock band was playing or something. And I was a kid, I was 13. So she said, you could do anything you want. It's like, I could do anything I want. And I became a seeker. I started checking out every belief system, every form of Christianity, every form of Buddhism, every form of even Judaic roots, everything. And it's like, well, this is good, but this is too controlling. This is to me, but they don't want free thinking. And then I think I discovered the pagan path. First, I kind of got the new agey path. This is way back in the 80s when everything, Shirley MacLaine, and that was really good, but a little too squeaky clean for me. And then I think I got invited to a pagan group, Long Beach Women's Spirit, near where I was. And I went, oh, these are my people. They embrace all. They're not going to say your belief system is wrong, or at least the one that yours is wrong. They're all right. And they had that earthiness that I like, and the edginess that I like. And again, you take charge of your own life. So again, itself, witchcraft can be your religion. I am Wiccan. I am ceremonial. I am traditional British craft. They're all a little different and a little the same. But the witchcraft part is the belief system. It's the working of it. Whether you do goddess-based religion or not, to say you'd practice witchcraft means basically you are willing to take fate into your own hands. You're not going to just water naturally runs downhill. nature naturally takes the easiest path. Your life, if you're just going to go along where the wind blows you, it's going to blow you the easiest path. And somebody who going, wait, I'm not going to just do it. Wait, I want to climb up that mountain. I don't want to go downhill. And this is where you shift and you do magic, whether you're working with mugwort or dragon's blood or crystals or chants or deities or gods. You're willing to take fate into your own hands. There is a responsibility to it. Again, if you don't know the difference, to me, if you don't know the difference of right and wrong, if you don't have integrity, if you don't have a sense of virtue, if you don't have a sense of moral code, I don't mean morality like what are you doing and that's bad, nothing in that human judgmental sense. But if you don't know moral code, if you're willing to change fate, that means you're going to get the consequence for it. But if you have that, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. And you won't get into trouble and you won't do bad things because you know that there's kickback of a sort. So whether it's karmic, which isn't even a word in the craft, or it's cause and effect, action and reaction. But when you take charge of your own life, that's what it is to me. That's what witchcraft. Yes, I am pagan. Yes, I have multiple deities. I have added feminine to my male idea of God. And to me, I take it all down to energy. I celebrate the seasons, the Sabbats. But more than anything is that we were given free will. Whatever God's universe gave us free will. That's our magic touch.
Yeah. So that is awesome. So Patti, if you wouldn't mind me asking, what is the worst experience you have actually done?
Okay, I think that I don't worse or scary because it had a good ending, but I think when I was doing a séance, again because I live in these other worlds and I've been doing it since I was a kid. I was at a very famous house. It was actually built by Charlie Chaplin for his girlfriend. It was a party house from the 1920s on. It's literally in my neighborhood in the Hollywood Hills. I have an old 1920s neighborhood. Charlie Chaplin, and then in the 60s, the Rolling Stones manager bought it. Rolling Stones lived in this house, Mamas and Papas, Graham Parson, and then they moved out. And then the person who invented the real life sex doll moved in, and then he moved out. And then Marilyn Manson moved in, and he's my neighbor for 7 years. So the house itself attracted chaotic, creative, maybe a little bit dark, edgy people. It looks like a haunted house. It's this 4-level spiral staircase, almost built with sacred geometry, like the Masons built it or something. But stained glass, literally a compass drawn on the floor when you walk in, which is always a magical practice. And I was doing a seance. They were doing a film about it, a documentary about this party house for the last 100 years. And where I'm in control and I know how to call in good and bad spirits. But in this episode, we just wanted to call in the spirits in the house. But my one rule got broken, which was respect. Whether you believe it or not, try to be open. Whether you're skeptical, that's okay. But whether you believe it or not, you have to have respect. This one kid at the seance table got disrespectful. He got, maybe because he was on TV, we had 4 cameras going. But I could feel the spirit getting edgy. So at first he said something really stupid, and literally the French doors flew open in this old Hollywood house. Everybody's screaming. And it was like, and the producer side of me, I was like, wow, that's like special effects, but not faked. I'd never fake anything. And then, but I feel this edge coming up. And then that happened again. And then the speakers, old school, like radios, record speakers on the floor, all of a sudden they came on. This white noise, like almost sounding like a spirit box. This white noise came on and everybody's like, what is this? What is this? They weren't even plugged in, which we noticed later. But this thing is building, and this kid and I didn't control him well enough because I'm kind of in a trance state anyway. And again, usually people are just better reversed. So all of a sudden, we're using the Ouija board. We're getting some information about some like horrible stuff that had happened back in the 1920s. He said something really asinine, and that very moment, the cameraman, my friend facing him, burst into flames. Burst into flame. Spontaneous combustion, like a V up his back, like angel wings of fire, like pff, everybody is screaming. 2 2 cameras actually caught it on camera. His camera, of course, didn't. He's on fire. And the another camera, like, it's all of a sudden it's shooting the ceiling or shooting the floor. I guess you do test the quality of a cameraman by the room bursting into flames. So all of a sudden, cool witch medium Patty becomes a medic, of which I am. I'm an EMT. I'm like, drop and roll. I'm screaming. I was like, drop and roll. Get down on the ground. I'm calling in my guardians. I'm calling the deity I work with. Shut it down. Shut it down. This seance is done. Shut it down. I don't care what we're filming. My God, people don't burst into flames on my watch. So anyway, everybody's screaming, but the cameraman, instead, he was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm looking at the blisters on his back. He goes, no, his shirt burnt off him like it was synthetic, but it was like, it should not have burnt off like poof, but it did. But and he's like, no, I'm okay. I'll take this off. And I have a sweater. I'll put the sweater on. He goes, no, really. And I'm like, so I talked to the spirits, because they weren't even demonic. They were just cranky ghosts. Half the things people think are demons. They're just cranky ghosts. But anyway, I explained to him we weren't even going to get rid of him at the end of the seance like I usually do. We just wanted to communicate. So talked him down. The idiot kid got really well behaved, like choir boy behaved. He's like, oh, okay. So he wasn't a problem anymore. We did finish the seance. Had a couple more incidents. A glass afterwards flew from the cupboard 8 feet. I have never seen that even on Ghost Adventures yet. We didn't catch it on film because we were done filming, but a glass just flew across the room. Something did sort of try to push him off the cliff of where the house was. I made him a mojo bag. But the coolest thing that came out of it, I know, that was, yeah. But the coolest thing that came out of it was the ghost. I hear spirits. But the coolest thing that came out of it is 3 weeks later, he goes, Patty, look at my back. And he showed me his back where the blisters were. Literally almost looked like he had just went and got a tattoo of a dragon. It had the open mouth, the sharp teeth, the winged thing into the shape of a serpent. That is the exact energy I called in to shut down the seance. I work crossroad energy. I work with dragon and dragon energy. I'm like, that's what I called in to save him. So it's like, oh my God, you have a tramp stamp of a dragon on your back. This is so friggin' cool. And he's on wolves too. Yeah, I mean, I have dragons everywhere. But he was so inspired by that. He hasn't done it yet, but he was so inspired by that. And he's a filmmaker. He's done some great films himself. He wrote a script with Stephen Norrington, the guy. He's a director, right? He did the Blade series, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. They wrote a script called The Portal about a TV psychic medium who does all the reality shows, basically about me. And then it turns into a horror film. Accidentally during one of these TV shows opens a portal, which could happen. And then it becomes a typical horror film. So they haven't done it yet. I hope they do. The cover of it literally is his like dragon looking scar burns on the back, the portal.
Do you think that actually will be a cover? Do you think they actually will do it? Because I think they will. I
hope they do. But he got another film and things go on. So I hope they do it. But I literally, if they do it, I sat down with him literally for like 5 hours at my dining room table. He showed me the script. I go, this is great. I go, but you can't say that. He'd go, but Patty, you said that. I go, I know I said that, but those sounds will open up a portal. You don't want this to be one of those cursed horror films, which so often happens when they do real things, whether they know it or not. I go, let's give you some, non-energy making. We'll make up words and no one will know the difference, and it won't be one of those cursed horror films, quote unquote. So I hope they get to do it because it would be good. Actually, it's a really good script. They're both
I do hear things like they're planning new stuff sometimes. If it's gonna be new movies, then I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping it does because I'm like, oh my God. But what's your next plan now with the future? Like, because all this COVID-19 stuff, it's made it hard.
Yeah, it's shut down Hollywood big time. They're trying to get back up, like limping and struggling. Most stuff is still shut down. They have so many protocols. You can't do a TV film with everybody wearing masks. They test every day. I was just supposed to film when this all shut down. I also work with Trevor Moore. He's not a paranormal guy. He's a comedian. He's really funny.
I know Trevor.
Yeah, he's funny. He was
I
the
know it.
whitest kid you know. And he has this show called The Trevor Moore Show. The first one we did literally was a 24-hour, it's like a talk show format. And I'm like one of his psychic sidekicks. So I get to be funny and he's funny. And his premise is they solve all the problems of the world 1 hour at a time. His launch of it is literally, we did a 24-hour marathon where he was on camera for 24 hours and he kept me on it for almost 7 hours. Like, okay, 7 to 8 p.m. we solve world peace, 8 to 9 the water shortage, 9 to 10 pollution, 11 to 12 global warming. Again, we break serious stuff, but it's also really funny. So we were just ready to start shooting that again. We had just done some episodes, shut down, and so many people aren't ready to go back to work. So I've been doing a lot of online, living on Zoom. I teach now, and everything I used to do live. A lot of the Paracons that we used to do live, I just did one in Dallas, Texas, but I wasn't in Dallas, Texas. I was sitting in my house in Hollywood. A few live ones are picking back. I actually did just go to Virginia City. We actually had 150 live humans. So it's picking back up. So I hope, again, it's just a slow process. Until then, I'm going to do as much like what I'm doing with you guys. This is great. So we get out to the world. And then hopefully the TV stuff will come back. Ghost Adventures is just starting to film again. They are starting, but they're trying to do more COVID safe locations, like not houses where there's going to be people. It'd be like a location kind of thing. So
it'd be like the outside location, like what they used to do before.
Yeah. Or something that's big and empty. Even if it's inside, it's big and empty. You're not dealing with humans.
Have they got plans with you this time? Are they going to bring you involved again on one of the episodes?
I'm sure they will. There's not been a season they've missed yet, but I never know in advance. Honestly, I never know in advance. I mean, occasionally if I suggest a thing to them, but it's hey Patty, we're here in town, and I've even had, can you come today? Can you be here at 5:00? Or can you come tomorrow? Or can you jump on a plane tomorrow? Fly again. If my last one in Scottsdale, Arizona, can you get on a plane and fly in? I go, yeah. And usually if they go, usually they'll have a PA or production assistant pick you up and stuff and just travel if you fly to Vegas or whatever. And they go, you know where to go. You don't need a PA. We'll just rent you a car and go get the car. I'm like, okay. I go, well, can I at least have an address where to go? I am really not that good of a psychic. Not that good of a psychic. I need an address. Oh yeah. So, I'm driving out into the middle of nowhere in the desert going, oh my God, where are they?
my favorite character out of the Ghost Adventures is Aaron, because he always, the poor guy, always gets the pain or the hurt to him. And I love people like that.
I love it. Yeah, he is great. He is funny. He will do anything. Again, they all commit 100%. They all have their different ways of protection and stuff. But again, they're great. They're like my brothers. They're like I'm married to a drummer, so I know big groups of guys. My husband and I actually produce this really big drum show, the Hollywood Drum Show. So I'm used to being the only girl with like 1,000 guys around me or 20 guys around me, and they're good old guys in their t-shirts and their jeans, and it's like, so I fit right in.
Okay, so I'm just going to concentrate quickly on the audience. Are you okay with that? Because the audience... Jamie, do you want to go and check and say hi to the audience, buddy?
Yeah, mate. I'm just reading through the comments now.
If anyone's got a question or anything for lovely Patty, she is absolutely brilliant. You guys might know her from Ghost Adventures, being on TV, Hollywood. She is absolutely amazing. She's down to earth. I will be talking about her book as well, because if you're a pagan and learning how to understand witchcraft or understanding how it works, then Patty is the lady who can actually help you out, guys. We need you guys to share far as wide. Sharing is caring, as my usual saying. So shout out and tell people, hey, we got Patty on here. And tell people, shout it out, we got Patty on True TV, and go crazy. But anyway, let's go, Jamie.
So we got one party that knows you by the looks of it. It's going to come up on your screen now. Valley Spirit Communication says hello from California.
Hello, Tammy. Hi.
And then the other one looks like they've met you. Hello, lovely Patty. I was so happy that I got to meet you in Virginia City. Your vibration is high.
Thank you. Yes, I knew that name sounded familiar. Hi, Tammy. Yes. Like I said, that was my first live event in 5-6 months, and we did it great. I got to do 2 seances at the suicide table, which again, this is like the most haunted, all the TV shows go there. Old cowboy miner town. You look like you're on a movie set if the cars were gone. It's old Western town and super haunted because crazy stuff happened there. And I got to do 2 seances, 2 nights in a row at the suicide table. It's like a poker table where like all the people who had owned it committed suicide losing poker bets. So that was pretty cool.
Serious? Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
They actually commit suicide just because they left and they
Yes.
lost.
Yes,
Wow.
like 3 people, I think. There's a whole story, and they were like the owner of the saloon, say, or owner, whatever, and gamblers, because that was gambling and what you did. And like, I think a couple of them at least like lost the hand or like, okay, I'll bet you the whole hotel. It gets crazy out there, and that's shut themselves in and there.
Wow.
The table, you feel it. You feel it in the hotel. You feel the whole city. You walk in and you go, okay, it's haunted.
Yeah. Okay, that's crazy.
There's ghosts everywhere.
Wow, I wish I could go there now. I really want to go there.
You should come. Yes.
Well, okay, if I come to Hollywood, then you gotta take me. That's it now.
I will take you. Now that's another 8-hour drive up the coast. But if you get this far as get to Hollywood, then we can go to Virginia City.
Well, I got a lot of people in Hollywood, so I probably might have a place to stay in, and we'll definitely do one.
Hey, Drew, just make sure you get a big enough suitcase because I'm coming. All right.
Okay, jump on in, guys.
Hell yeah!
And I can show you my Hollywood ghosts because again, we have some great spirits here. We're not old because it's new, but good ghosts hang out here. I like happy ghosts. Of course, on TV, we're going to see the serial killer ghosts and the manslaughter ghosts, but I like the happy ghosts, like the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel is one of the most haunted, and it's, Marilyn Monroe's hanging out. Cool stuff. The Hollywood Athletic Club. No one ever goes there. I've got to see about it.
You got to do a show that.
I got to do a show there because in the 20s and 30s, like when there was prohibition and stuff, private clubs, they can go drink. So even though the Hollywood Athletic Club was a gym where like Tarzan of the day, Johnny Mosmuller, all the stars from back in that era worked out there and swam there. They also drank and partied there. So they're all hanging out, having a good time. We got happy ghosts. Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Happy ghosts.
I'll definitely go there. I'll definitely do some stuff. I like working with spirits. And not the drinks too, just to let you know.
Yeah, me too. Spirits and spirits.
Which one do you want? Spirit or spirit? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Fair point. Fair point. Okay, we got a question from this lovely lady.
Which one? So, we've got one from one of the mods. She's asked what it's like working with Zach and Aaron.
It's a pain in the butt, I guess.
No, it isn't. What it is, because I have a theater background. I've always tried to do something else. Spirit just has never let me. I run a production company called Brain Brew Entertainment. And it's like, if anybody's done small theater or theater groups or corporate theater, everybody does everything. It's like that on Ghost Adventures. It's true. Whoa. It's not like you have even the ghost shows have a 20-30 person crew. They show up. Aaron grabbed this light. Billy grabbed this. Justin, the new tech, to bring in this equipment. It's like community theater or a small whatever production. Everybody, it's family, does everything. And again, their commitment to it, their passion for it is unmatched. So they're fun to work with. I've never been anything but great with me, respectful with me, funny with me.
Wow. That is so cool. That is so cool.
Looks like we got another one as well, but looks like your jaw is probably going to fall off by the end of this show.
Oh, that's okay. I'm used to it. Sorry, I'm just trying to turn my machine on. Sorry, my machine's doing a weird thing. It'll stop. Okay, Patty. So again, they are great to work with. It's like they're like my brothers. As a witch, do you do spells and things? Yes, I do spells and things. I do I call good magic versus white magic. And the difference is only do stuff on yourself and you're working. Like a love spell. A love spell is great. I want to bring the love of my life. Somebody funny, somebody short, somebody tall, whatever. But if you say you want a love spell on Bob, that's black magic, no matter how good that seems. Oh, but he's my soulmate. No. Oh, but I know he's really would love me if he just, no. Because we don't have Bob's full permission. Stop that. Sorry, we don't have Bob's permission. So I create your world around you. So again, that's the note of different ethics and controlling somebody else. But I do spells for everything. I mean, and it's great. And you don't have to do the negative, like you said, Master Chef. I don't know how to boil water. I beat 70,000 people to get on Master Chef and cook for Gordon Ramsay. I'm not that athletic. I beat almost 100,000 people to make it on Wipeout. I don't have the kind of talents that you do on America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent or whatever show you're doing. I beat another almost 100,000 people to get on that show with Howie Mandel. That's using magic positively. Now, I didn't say, oh, don't let them win or don't let them win or have them eliminated. No, I just built up myself and my magic. So I do. And if anybody, now while we are in an online world, I am teaching spell working and magic in an ethical way for $10 a class. Through a place called House of Intuition. It's crazy. I'm teaching a lot from my book, Old World Magic for the Modern World, which you can get on Amazon. There's an audiobook, an ebook, and a print book. And there's lots of good magic in it. But what I used to always doing live, now with this new world. So even when we get back to live, I am going to have to do live and audio. So, but it is a good opportunity. I like teaching and I like things really affordable for people. So that's on all my social media. So I teach.
I just literally bought your book online, just literally as I was talking to it.
That's cool. Yay.
I literally just bought it. The other question is, I just want to say to a person, because it's good vibe, Misty Lovely, is it? Misty? Awesome Drew. So everyone's calling me awesome, but I'm not picking it up. That's a positive outcome. So thank you for the positives. I like positive. But guys, don't forget to share. Please ask questions. She's literally here today, and it's actually going to be on my show again for the next time. But we'll be on different broadcast shows as well. We're live on YouTube at the same time. So we're using 2 different broadcast networks to actually get it out there and to say, hey, she's here. Do you want to chat to her? She's here on our page. So we just want to build up. And literally, she is so fun. She is so fun. If you guys can help out and share far as wide. Patty, have you got anything to say?
I do. I have a question from Lucy. I see it right here. Lucy asked if I can go any location in the world, where would it be? I have a few, so I'll give you all. My one place that I haven't got yet and I want to go is Turkey, because I have Turkish roots. My father's family was from there, and I know it's magical and ancient in the ancient world. I've been to Greece, and that was so magical to experience that. I want to do Turkey for my roots. Another place that I want to go, I'm actually getting to go, Ireland. I'm going to be in the UK. I'm going to be there next May. I'm doing a tour, a Game of Thrones tour of castles, a haunted tour with me. I'm the medium going on this thing. So if anybody wants to join, there's a few spaces left, May 13th through 21. Because when I was in France, 21. You should come. You should come. I have all these other paranormal people who are going to come. It's going to be amazing. It's really reasonably priced. You don't even have to do, big airfare across the fling. But so I'm thrilled. I'm going to be doing seances and mediumship and talking to spirits in these castles that would be really hard to get in otherwise. As far as here in the U.S., places that I want to go to Gettysburg, because I hear it's so haunted and it's got so much history, and I haven't been there yet.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
What else have we done? James Rhodes. Oh, hello. Oh, I'm sorry about that. James, you're moving your laptop, mate.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to hear it because I've got my things in.
We hear it. you're doing the Game of Thrones. What else have you done? Because I was looking through your picture and I was like, it looks like you've done the witch hunts as well. Or what's that film called? With I think it's Tom Hanks or one of them. It's not Tom Hanks. Sorry,
Haven't
but
done a Tom Hanks.
it looks like you were in like Cornwall or something in British lands, and it just looked like you were in a castle. And I was like thinking, what film is that she done? Is it just mainly?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think. I have not filmed. I mean, I've been to an amazing castle in France from the year 1200 and did a seance with Genevieve Bujold, which was pretty awesome. It's like, of course, I'm in France. But no, I've done a lot of films, done a lot of TV, but not anything in a castle or in Europe. So,
Okay. Okay. When you come down to UK, I'll probably come because my birthday's in May the 21st.
You should. You should. Yes. Perfect.
I'll definitely get that happening. I'll have that book in my calendar. We'll speak after the show. But it's got to be amazing for how far you must have come down to be where you are now. Your mind must have been blown and shocked for what happened in your future. Like, you know, for being on TV, probably being in this, learning people how to be a spiritualist or be a Wicca, to being on TV and sets. So, what did that make you feel like personally?
It's well, I like it. And honestly, again, I've always tried to do other things. This has always been my life, but I ran, and I still run, a company called Brain Brew Entertainment. It's kind of a corporate, live, big produced shows. Like I said, old theater background, where I would for banks and Microsoft and very corporate things, do big song and dance extravaganzas or game shows where we teach them ethics or new policy. And I'm like, these corporate people cannot know that I talk to dead people and dance around bonfires in a cloak. I just kept it very separate. But in 2008, when the big economic crash hit everything, corporate entertainment became a dirty word. It became like, oh, you can't have, even if it was a show, because of everybody who misused it. At the same time, reality TV, I was always an actress, and that was fine. I played Jill Biden in a film. I played all sorts of things, but I didn't want them to know my medium side or my witchy side. But somebody begged me to do a show in 2008 because they knew my ability with seances, called Mobile Home Disaster. And I'm like, no, can't do it. They go, oh, we need somebody. We know what you could do. And I'm like, well, what's it called? They go, Mobile Home Disaster. It's on CMT, Country Music TV. And I'm thinking, well, nobody's going to watch a show called Mobile Home Disaster on CMT. Again, early days of reality, who knew? And I'm like, oh, sure, I'll do it. And I fell in love with the genre. It had my comedy background, my theatrical background. I didn't have to memorize anything. They'd follow me around with 3 cameras and I do what I wanted to do. And I got to be me. I get to my message of empowerment all I just want is for people to, again, know how amazing we are and how much power we have in our day-to-day lives. And I got to do that. So I go, wow, that was fun, but I'm not going to do it anymore because people can't know. And then when it aired the first time, I remember my first really corporate client who called and she said, I saw you on TV last night. I'm like, oh, I'll never work in this town again or whatever. I'm like, and she goes, I didn't know you were into the paranormal. I love the paranormal. We had our best conversation ever. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of the closet. I'm out of the broom closet. I'm out of the medium closet. I'm out of the psychic closet. And even though I didn't give up my company and still haven't, I had a girl doing a show last week. The reality world and me in it went up, 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 because all of a sudden I was a legit person. I'm a legit medium, a legit psychic, a trained wit, knowing what I'm talking about, studied my whole life. And I knew television. I know how to hit a mark. I know how to do it. I know how to be on set. So it's like, well, if of all the psychics, call her. We'll bring her in. She can talk in sound bites. So it went up, up, up. And the corporate world still went down, down, down. And then I found myself, again, where my other show, it's like, okay, in this same thing, I've got 7 actors, 2 weeks of rehearsal, I've got a director, I've got a musical director, I've got my 3 musicians, I'm doing the costumes, I'm doing the programs, or I'm just walking into whatever and talking to spirits. I'm walking on stage for 700 people. I'm walking onto a TV set or getting to go to the most haunted places. So this world is completely taken over because it's more fun, it's more fulfilling, and it really is following my heart's quest.
That is amazing. That is actually
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I think his question's been wanted answered here, by the sound of it. And then Jamie wants to ask you few personal questions. So, Jamie, if you can get these out to, you know.
Yeah, because I see nothing. I don't know anybody's questions if you're talking to me. I just see these two lovely men right here. That's all I see.
Thank you very much.
Yes, lovely men. And I like your cloak.
Oh, my cloak is so lush. When I started learning witchcraft, I kind of like wanted to go into the whole system of it. So I got my cloak, and then I had my wand being made by Druid. So it's actually being made by Druid, and then my mama bear, which is like my stepmom. I call her my mama bear. I don't care what anyone says. She's my mama bear, and she's another psychic medium. And she's basically like, oh, we do stuff for you. So the druids actually been helping me. So if you ever hear the druids,
I love druids.
They're right behind me all the way. My son's grandfather, which we class him, he's a druid, and he's absolutely amazing. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I love druids. I love druid ceremony. I love druid ritual. I love their whole cosmology behind it. Yeah. You're in good hands.
Definitely. I want to say a massive shout out to Nicholas. Is that Bonia?
Nick. Hi, Nick.
Nick, you're an absolutely amazing guy. He's the one who's helping me out with all the contacts and who I need to be in touch with. He's absolutely brilliant guy. As well, I just want to give him a massive shout out. So please, guys, give him a follow.
Yeah, he hooked us up, didn't he? Hook us up first. I work with Nick all the time. Again, talk about somebody who's passionate and committed, and he's the best.
He is the best. I just want to say big thank you support to definitely him as well, because he supported me all the way through all the certain situation, and he's just there. Good guy. So I just want to give him a shout out. Okay, looks like you got a question, bro.
Yeah. So I've been in touch with some psychics myself, because I've noticed the last couple of weeks my mental health has been deteriorating, it's been going down. And what was in this house? So when I lived with my parents back about 6 months ago, I thought I had a twin brother. He actually died at birth, and he actually showed himself to my mother in the kitchen, but without the tattoos. And I thought he followed me everywhere, because that is what it's been like for me. So I've been chatting to him in this house with my equipment, and what I thought was my twin brother, because he was saying very nasty words. So it was C words, W words, B words, absolutely horrible. And I'm thinking, why would this be saying this to me, a family member that was never in the family, And so I reached out to some psychics, and I explained the situation. And they said that there's a man in this house, an old skinny man, and he used to have a drink problem. So when I was told this, only a few nights ago, night before last, so I've got a speaker that plays just music. It's just a Bose speaker. And as you know, obviously, they're American. So they got American accents on those. And the Echo speakers have British accents. Now the Echo was actually turned off, so the Amazon Alexa that wasn't even plugged in. We had some food. I went out the back for a fag with my other half. The kids were in the front room. The phone wasn't near. I was playing music when I was cooking. Paused that. Went outside. My phone was on the side. It was in standby, and all of a sudden, it made the bleep, just like Amazon Alexa does. And I thought, well, that's not possible, because this speaker doesn't, it doesn't do this. You don't speak to it. It's just music. That's it. and all of a sudden, it's because I was thinking, I was going to say to my other half, because it's funny you say about the MasterChef thing, because I got a chef in background. I'm a cook by trade.
Ah,
And yeah, I'm not currently working at the moment, by the way. So yeah, bit of a shame at the minute. But hey, it's all to my other half at the moment. She's enjoying all the food.
yay, that's awesome. And you'll
Yeah,
get
it's
back
great.
to it. Go for it.
And honestly, I was going to say to her, look, it's a shame you don't like cauliflower cheese, because I make a real good one. Because obviously, bechamel sauce, the main ingredient, milk and cheese. So the main, obviously, is milk. And I forgot what I was going to say.
You were talking about your
So
Alexa, your non-Alexa, Alexa went off.
yeah, so basically, I'm talking to my other half now at this time. I'm saying to her, it's a shame about this food thing, the milk thing. And I forgot what I was going to say to her. So we just started talking about something else. And all of a sudden, the speaker started talking about measurements and shelf life of milk. And I thought, yeah, that's what I was going to say. But then I was like, hang on a minute. How do you know that that's what I was thinking at the time, but then forgot? And now you've just reminded me. Um, so I've had some psychics say that the spirit in the house and everything seems to be affecting me personally, but I don't know. I mean, obviously, I've been told two slightly different stories at the moment, but they are entwined slightly. Not everyone is going to be the same, I doubt, but yeah, it's pretty odd at the moment. This
Clear,
house, I've
clear,
got to be
clear
honest.
your house. You don't want it affecting your mental state. Clear. In my book, which Drew will have, and you could download it for $6 US. I don't know what it is in your country. Or the print copy you could write all over. But clear your house. There's a million ways to do it. I just have a simple one there. Make sure you're counterclockwise to get rid of the negative. Fill it back up clockwise. That's a witchy thing. Because you don't want somebody pretending it's your twin brother, because you probably do have a twin brother and you don't want it to squish it out, and you don't want
Yeah,
it affecting your mental state. And if you really think there's some dark thing on it, I have a lemon cleansing spell. I just need a lemon and some salt, and you'll pull out anything that's negative. But do that. But what you're saying, electronics are turning. Spirits are starting to talk through electronics. It's
yeah.
crazy. My phone last month got a phone call from my husband's best friend and bandmate. He's been dead 5 years. And it said, call from David Coleman. I'm like, and
Wow.
there was nothing there when I did it, but it still says call from David Coleman. I tried to call back that number, and the number's disconnected. But I still got a call from David Coleman. They're starting because, okay, we know electricity is a conduit. All the ghost meters we have, the spirit boxes, all those things, electricity travels. That's why in a haunted house, the lights flash on and off, because they're using that energy. They're learning how to use speakers, bows. It's getting crazy.
It is, and it's crazy as well how it actually sounded like an Amazon Alexa, because
Wow.
that's a British voice, not an American voice with Bose. So for a split second, that was the case. I couldn't believe it. I
Yeah.
mean, how I managed to sleep that night, I was quite unsure. But the thing is that the following morning, my other half, we're both led in bed. We're looking up at the ceiling, it's the thing you can see. And she's seen something probably about that size, my hand. It was legs, body, arms, and head. And it was walking along the ceiling only for about 4 seconds. And she said to me, I wonder if it could be the sunlight coming in and someone was walking down the path. But then I was thinking, well, it would be bigger than that. So the other night, then I said to Drew, I actually set the camera up and the tripod to see, because for some reason it seems to be wanting to do things for everyone else, but not me. So I was actually coming down here to speak to Drew. My other half was upstairs studying, and I set the camera up upstairs. The only problem is I'm leaving myself at the moment saying, I wonder if the battery was charged or not. Because I went up later on after it was put on video record, and for some reason I went back up after 30 minutes and the camera was off. and then this Alexa thing happened the day after, you see. So it used that energy then by doing that.
Yep. That's how it does. It uses that. It used that energy, but you don't want it draining your energy or confusing stuff. So nip it in the bud now, and it doesn't mean you can't keep spirits in your house. It doesn't mean you can't keep your twin brother. You just have to pick and choose who and what is allowed in. This is our realm of existence. They really do have to play by our rules, but people don't know that. So they give over their power again, or they get really fearful, which will feed something negative, or they get angry, which will feed something negative. Just being like a disciplinarian or teacher or a parent. Nope. You're not my brother. Get out. My brother wouldn't talk to me like that. No.
That's the thing. I have been told to cut the talking to it now with the equipment and just get some sage and your crystal, your clear crystal, and get a candle going or something and just go anti-clockwise around the house to get the negativity out, and then clockwise to get good energy in.
Yeah. And fill it up, like at your front door. State out loud who is allowed in. Only people invited in. People with respect for me, my home, my family. What comes in that window? Fresh air, light, sunshine. What's the feeling you want in your bedroom? Great sleep, great intimacy, great sex. What do you want? Kitchen, beautiful, everything, room by room. Fill it back up with a sweet incense and with sage. I mean, sage is brilliant, but it is harsh. So don't. After you, and again, use sage, and I use sage, but remember, never just use sage. So many people just use sage and then they leave it, and it gets rid of the good and the bad, and it almost creates a vacuum. It's like dusting your whole house and then leaving the doors and windows open in a sandstorm or a dust storm. So sage counterclockwise, but then go back through with a sweet incense, something holy, something angelic, a frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, anything almost. Carry the light, the candle, you're bringing the light, the white light through the house. So fill it back up, especially after sage. I use Palo Santo even more than sage because it gets rid of the negative, but not the positive. It doesn't leave it so harsh.
Yeah. All right, brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. So.
Just looking at your MB, that's the IMB. Is it IMB? IMDb.
Internet Movie Database. Internet Movie Database. Yeah.
I'm just making sure I got covered. You done flap out, did you? Is it flap out?
Flipping out.
Flipping out, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Lewis. Yeah, that was fun. It's again another reality show where they flip houses. He's a designer, and yeah. That's the kind of shows I do a lot with him. I went and cleared the house for them, showed them how to do it. Nicole Richie worked with her, showed her how to, not be negative. We have a show here in the States, a Bad Girls Club, which are a bunch of these little bad urban girls. Done seances with them, showed how to clear it. Pit Boss. I mean, really silly reality shows where I bring this kind of magical moment and awareness to those shows that aren't even paranormal shows.
No, that's what I enjoy. I enjoy the different type of styles you do. You just bring a lot of positive to people, don't you? You're like a positive little bungle woman who enjoys this empower of powerful of positive, and I kind of enjoy it. Now, a big old famous word. Now, you answer most of the good question is, would you still act even when in the spirit world, or would you still do your stuff in the spirit world? I know this sounds random, but it's kind of random for me because no one's never heard this thought before. When you're in the spirit world, you're still you. You're still that soul. So, in the spirit world, would you take or make any connections? Try and make any connections to keep the paranormal alive? Or would you just walk away and just rest?
I'm not quite sure I'm getting it. I'm not when I cross the veil. When I go across the veil. When I'm leaving our left brain, mundane, logical, organized world for the mystical world where anything can happen. I aim for perfection at dancing between with this side of the broom, that side of the broom, this side of the veil, that side of the veil. So I'm still not clear what you're saying. What do I do on that side? Well, I'm the visitor on that side. This side, I'm in charge. That side, I'm the visitor. So I do keep a part of me, even if I'm doing a seance, even if I'm channeling somebody, whether it's a serial killer on TV or somebody's great grandma, I keep a part of me because you got to keep one toe. So you just have to know how to navigate in and out. So, but I'm still not clear on your question.
No, that question is very unusual because you don't many ask that many questions, and it sounds, oh, Drew, that was very rude. But no, it's a question which all spiritualists or mediums or witches will say after you pass along, would you ever stay in connection, or would you ever just go and rest?
Oh, after I die. Oh no, I'm going to be just as busy. I think because I'm still going to love people. We'll see what it is when you get to that side. Go see. Most of them are fine. They're happy. What they like about when we do that communication, one-on-one communication, is they have that sense of real time beat because they don't have time and space. They're happy. They're doing their thing. But we're talking to a mediumship or a seance. They're like, I'm talking to my grandkid. I'm talking to my kid. And I'm always busy, and people always go, do you ever rest? And for a long time, I've been saying, I'll rest when I'm dead. And now I'm like, no, I won't. Too much to do. No, I'll hang.
It's never been asked on live, and I was thinking, hey, this is what I'm saying. But someone said, what is your Facebook page called?
I do have a Patti Negri, which you can follow me, but the one to like is Patti Negri Psychic Medium. Patti Negri Psychic Medium, because I'm at my 5,000 limit with Patti Negri. Follow me there because that's my personal stuff. But it's Patti Negri Psychic Medium, and I also have one for my radio show, The Witching Hour. So yeah, please like me, follow me. Would love it.
You hear the girls and boys. Go and follow her because it's about time she should get nagged even more. I agree. Wow, we're slowly coming to our end of the show. It's been absolutely amazing having you on the show. My last one of all. Now, I work with a lot of people like the Warrens and the others. Would you be association of DTV? Would you support DTV and we support you? Have your logo on our page and you can have ours. Would you be association of patti.negri, support us?
I would be honored to. Yes, indeed. Count me in.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Patti. You're such a lovely lady. As we're coming to the end, it's been an absolutely amazing with Patti being on it. Make sure you follow her page, guys. Make sure you subscribe to every single thing she's got.
It has just been put up now.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. You guys are great hosts. I loved it. You can find if you go to my website, which is just patti.negri.com, from there you can get to my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, my YouTube page and all that. And so, yeah, thank you.
If you guys literally follow it, get it down, go and get a book. A book is going to be interesting. Trust me. I'm telling you. I'm not saying nicely. I'm telling you, okay? That's how we work.
Listen to him. He's got a cloak.
Yeah, I got a cloak. You know, this is magic. It brings out weird things. It brings out spirits.
And protects from things.
It does.
It's
actually,
a multi-use cloak. Yeah.
It really does. So this is important, guys. Thank you for watching. And really, again, Patti, thank you for coming on my show on DTV. It means a lot to DTV. You guys are interested in working with anyone. Especially if you can get Ghost Adventures to say, hey, come on out like a DTV.
I make no promises on that one. I'll do my best.
Oh, thank you.
They're very individual mind of their own people.
That's okay. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a lovely show and it's been amazing. If you can stay by there, if it's all right, Patti, I'll have a chat with you personally after the show. And Jamie, stay by there too, buddy. Jamie, this is it. This is it now. This is it. It's coming to the end. Have you got anything to say, bud?
I don't think I have. I think I've covered everything.
Okay, brother. Okay. Well, as the broom is leaving and as the moon is falling, as the light is coming to the end, we all heard a lovely story from Patti. How she become into one mystical of magic or witching and becoming on TV. It's amazing stories. At the end of the day, treat her as like a relaxed sensation, but how fun she is. Don't forget, the potion colours can be purple or green or blue. Remember, follow that love and be positive light. That is for Patty. Now we're going to the end. Thank you for coming on True TV, aka DTV. Have a good night, guys.